안녕하세요. English in Korean Plus 구독자 여러분. Thanks everyone for stopping by the show. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for subscribing. Today's topic is U.S. News Summary. And we're going to take a look at a few stories, but they're all related to the ongoing presidential election taking place in the U.S. So campaigning has been in full swing for a while now. That means that both the candidates have been really active. They've been on the campaign trail. They've been holding fundraisers and also town hall meetings all across the country. Especially, it's reached a fever pitch recently, right? A flurry of activity. Today, what we're going to take a look at, let's see. The first story will be the hot mic gaffe involving Trump, the Republican Party candidate for president. If you've watched my show for a while, you may remember when I first started 5분 과외, my 5-minute lecture series, way back in, that must have been 2012. I think it was about 2012. One of the first episodes of that show, one of the first lecture topics was hot mic gaffe. It was Obama caught in hot mic gaffe. And it's been so long now, I don't even really remember what the gaffe was. But Obama didn't realize his mic was turned on. I think he was at a summit meeting, summit talks somewhere, and said something he assumed would be in secret. He whispered something to someone next to him without realizing his mic was turned on. So in English, we have an expression, hot mic. So this mic, for example, this is the mic that I use. It's a Sony wireless mic. It's hot. So see how you can hear me? That's because the mic's hot. If I turn off the mic, then it's not hot, right? So if a microphone is turned on, we say it's hot. And gaffe means mistake, especially when you say something you shouldn't have said. We call that a gaffe. In English, there are many, many words for mistake. Actually, 10s and 20s. There's probably about, I would say, 20 words for mistake. But one of those words is gaffe. And it's used often with hot mic. So it was another hot mic gaffe. And you've probably heard on the news, you've probably heard about this over the last few days, that Trump was involved in a hot mic gaffe. He was talking to a former anchor or reporter, host of the show Entertainment Tonight. So that show is about celebrities and about other stars and things that happen to them. So in the old days, they used to talk about Paris Hilton a lot, and I'm sure they talk about the Kardashians now. So the level of content isn't exactly highbrow. When something's highbrow, we say it's sophisticated, right? Or intellectual. That's highbrow content. The opposite would be lowbrow. Lowbrow. So the level of content, or what it deals with, isn't exactly intellectual or intellectually stimulating. It's not exactly highbrow television. It's called Entertainment Tonight. And Trump was appearing on that show. He didn't realize his mic, his lapel mic, was turned on. So when you have a mic like this and you put it here on your collar, we call this a lapel mic. He didn't realize his lapel mic was on. He didn't realize the mic was hot and was caught making lewd comments to Billy Bush, the host at the time of Entertainment Tonight. So, lewd. things that talk about topics that are sexual in nature or dirty talk, right? That we call that lewd. So he was caught making lewd comments about women. The comments were also thought to be degrading towards women. So degrading means putting down. Another word is disparaging. So Trump was caught on the mic, or caught by the hot mic, making lewd comments and disparaging remarks about women. Apparently, he didn't realize the mic was hot. This kicked up another controversy surrounding Trump. So controversy, we all know, right? But kicked up. When something starts a controversy, oftentimes we say kicked up or kicked off a controversy. Let's see. Touched off a controversy. People also say that. Touched off a controversy. Kicked off a controversy. Anyhow, so he was caught by the hot mic making lewd and disparaging remarks about women, and it kicked up another controversy surrounding whether Trump is fit to be president. Many people, his detractors, the people who are opposed to him, have said he's not fit for the presidency, or he's not fit to be president. What that means, well, it's a good fit, right? He's not a good fit. But when we say he's not fit to be president, that means if you want to be president, you have to have certain characteristics, certain abilities, certain gifts. For example, you should be calm, you should be dignified, you should be well-mannered. You shouldn't make lewd comments in public, right? These are certain things that one needs to possess, certain gifts or attributes one needs to possess to become president, or that we think are appropriate for the presidency. So many people have said he's unfit to be president, okay? He's not the type of person we want to elect as our president. A lot of people have said that. Okay, so then Trump responded to the controversy by saying it's just locker room talk. Now, locker room talk means when athletes are in the locker room and they're kind of tough or macho guys, they may brag about women or make dirty remarks to each other. So the remarks that men make, especially jocks, men who play sports, we sometimes call them jocks. Men who play sports use the locker room, and in the locker room, this kind of banter may occur. That's what Trump said. So his response was, oh, it's just locker room talk. It's just guy to guy, man to man talk. It's no big deal. That's what he says. And then in response to this controversy, to try to rein in the controversy, he brought 4 Bill Clinton accusers with him to the debate, to last night's debate. So there was another presidential debate. This was the second one. It was held in a town hall format with people who live in the community coming forth and asking questions. We call that town hall format. So the debate took place in a town hall format, and he brought with him 4 women who said that Bill Clinton had sexually harassed them. Okay, so they're accusers of Bill Clinton. He brought them and put them in his guest seats. He had special VIP seats for guests. He brought those women to the debate as his guests and put them in the VIP seats. And some people have said this was a strategic move, this was strategy, a strategic move to rattle Hillary Clinton immediately before the debate. So when you rattle someone, you're stressing them out, right? You're making them uncomfortable when you rattle someone. So some have said that this was a calculated move to rattle Hillary Clinton before the debates. Okay, so that's kind of what's been going on. One other thing to note is that after the hot mic gaffe took place, you'll remember 2 or 3 episodes ago, we learned the expression, he distanced himself from the remarks. We learned that. Or what did we say? He tried to put distance between himself and the remarks. That's what happened this time. So after Trump's comments on the hot mic were made public, many Republican Party leaders tried to distance themselves from the candidate. Okay? So when they tried to say, I don't support those comments, I don't agree with those comments, and I won't be defending Trump. That's distancing oneself. Okay? We use it in that sense as a verb. So many party leaders, higher ups in the Republican Party, tried to distance themselves from the remarks. Okay, so let's see. One other thing. His running mate, also refused to stand up for him or justify his comments. So running mate means if one person is running for the presidency and one person is running for the vice presidency, they're each other's running mates, right? So Trump's running mate is Pence. And I think he's the governor of Indiana, and he's Trump's running mate. So even Trump's running mate, Mike Pence, refused to stand up for him or endorse these comments. So a long time ago, I think it was maybe in business English or somewhere. I don't remember what the topic was, but I filmed it over there in those study rooms in Shinchon. And the topic was endorse. And it originally meant to sign one's name on the back of something. But we use the word endorse when we mean we support something or agree with it. But in this case, even Trump's running mate, Mike Pence, sought to distance himself from the remarks. Okay, so he didn't step forward to defend the remarks, and reportedly, was beside himself when he heard about this recent episode. When we say someone's beside themselves, that means they're so angry, they're almost out of their own skin, out of their own body. So when you're really angry about something, you can say, I was beside myself when I heard the news. Okay, that means I'm very, very upset. I'm beside myself. So reportedly, when Trump's running mate heard the comments, he was beside himself. So even Trump's buddy, even his friend, his running mate, was very upset when he heard the remarks. And I can't quote the remarks here because they're too dirty, they're too lewd, they're too salacious. So I can't even quote them. But you can look them up online if you'd like to. Okay, so that's mainly what I wanted to discuss. After this recent controversy, Hillary Clinton again has pulled way ahead. Another interesting happening recently was that many Republican newspapers have endorsed Hillary Clinton. A lot of newspapers in the United States, many of them were Republican, conservative newspapers that have never supported a Democrat for the presidency, this time have spoken out in favor of Clinton. So there are certain newspapers, I think one was in San Diego. The paper's been publishing for 150 years. They always supported the Republican candidate. But this time, for the first time in their history, they're supporting a Democrat. We've seen that happen with a few magazines and a few publications across the country. I don't remember which one. There were a few other big name publications that normally don't support either candidate or have always supported a Republican. Oh, USA Today, a newspaper that goes out to all 50 states. Normally, they don't take sides in presidential elections, but this time, for the first time in history, they spoke out against Trump. They didn't support Hillary, they didn't say vote for Hillary, but they did say, as Americans, we shouldn't vote for Trump. So something that hasn't happened in history but happens, we call that unprecedented. It has no precedent. So precedent means it happened before. And if it's unprecedented, that means it's something that has never happened before. So in this election cycle, in this year's election, many things took place that were unprecedented. We're seeing many things happen that have never happened before. That's so in English, we can describe that as being unprecedented. So this year we've seen many unprecedented occurrences. Okay, what else? The vice presidential debate also took place about a week or two ago. The two VP candidates squared off. They went head to head. And most people said that the Republican VP candidate, Mike Pence, won the debate. I think most of the reviews or the feedback on the debate said that Pence, Trump's running mate, won that debate. Kane, Hillary's running mate, pinned down Pence, was trying to pin down Pence about Trump remarks. So, for example, Kane would say, "Oh, Trump said this. How do you feel about it? Do you know Trump said this? Do you agree with that? How can you condone that?" So mainly what Kane did was quote Trump to him and say, "Do you agree with that? How can you support a man that says these kinds of things?" That was his strategy, to quote Trump back to Pence and ask for his stance on it. And so he did pin down Pence on a lot of issues. And so that debate is also available on the internet if you want to take a look at it. So I'd say the most important expressions we learned today were hot mic. We learned about hot mic. The mic is on. Gaffe. So he made a hot mic gaffe. He was involved in a hot mic gaffe. The recording recently surfaced or uncovered, means it was discovered. Trump was making lewd remarks about women or disparaging remarks about women. It kicked off a controversy. Many bigwigs in his own party, many high-ranking officials in his own party have turned away from him. His own running mate sought to distance himself from the remarks. And let's see. Trump, possibly in an attempt to rattle Hillary Clinton, brought 4 accusers of Bill Clinton with him to the most recent debate. Okay. All right. That'll do it for now. I don't want to make this episode too long. So I'll just go ahead and wrap it up now. If you have a question, for example, at 1 minute and 35 seconds, what was it you said there? Just ask me and I'll let you know. Thanks everyone for subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.